Hi guys, welcome back on Pillow Talk with Grace Forson. Okay, this is the third episode. Y'all should have had an actual third episode way before that, but I was not really satisfied with how I talked and everything. But whatever, it's gonna be released, right after that one. Um, but yeah, it's been forever. Let's not talk about that. But I'm just gonna start and I'm just gonna do what we gotta do. Okay, so grab a pillow, grab a little teacup, sip your tea, do your thing, and let's get it started. Let's talk about it. Because today we're gonna talk about broken promises. Broken promises because like I don't even know why somehow I end up always podcasting at night. Like it's actually ridiculous. I'm doing this like in the evening or at night. God knows why. But yeah, I was not even going to record anything today, but I was gathered, okay? I was gathered by God himself, okay? Because let's say I had a lot of broken promises on my belt, okay? A lot of I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do that and I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do that and tomorrow I'll do this and yeah. And well, we see each other back in October. Yeah. So let's say it was a lot of internal internal fights and yeah, and today, well, I guess enough was enough. And yeah, that's how I'm here right now before you. Either you're listening to me, on all the platforms, or you actually watching me on YouTube. But that was something. Okay, so let's talk about it. I i knew, okay, I knew that I had this problem. I feel like a lot of us have that, a lot of us are dealing with that. It's kind of overlapping, maybe, procrastination and everything. And in your head, you might think, oh, like, why am I procrastinating? Because let's be honest, I really started to ask myself, like, why am I procrastinating? Like, that's actually annoying because you want to build something, you want to grow. You have so many ideas, so many plans, and just like desires and plenty of things, and somehow you end up in this like loop of just dreaming about a life that you actually can have, but you're not putting the effort to, you know and so let's say it kind of had been it has been a fight. It has been a fight. I would not say the fight of my life. Like, let's not go that deep. But yeah, it was an issue. It was an issue, and so I'm just dealing with that. And you start, in school sometimes, and you're like, oh, I'm gonna do this later, and da 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 da. But let's be honest, all of that, it's about discipline. It's about discipline, and I can admit that as a person, as an individual, I'm not gonna own that because I want to be free of that. But I'm gonna say that I was, in certain areas of my life, a person that lacked discipline. Like, that's just like, I was lacking discipline. And discipline is so important in everything that you do. Everything that you do. Because how can you achieve a goal without discipline? And I actually recently put that on my like wallpaper, whatever, on my wallpaper on my phone, saying that discipline um, leads you where motivation can't. Yeah, yeah, it leads you places where motivation can't, and that's true because if I actually think about it, I was like, we're gonna talk about in the past. We're gonna talk about it in the past. I was someone who really kind of like acted based on my feelings. If you think about it, because if you look at yourself, it's it's in retrospective, but you yourself, how do you do things? Like, do you do things because you're like, oh, I feel like doing it today. Like, this is it. I'm motivated today. And it's like, motivation, you cannot be motivated every day, right? And I'm someone who just I love to try new things. I have a lot of ideas in my mind. I have a lot of things, vision to do this, and oh, I want to execute it like this and like this. And if you're not careful, you can lose yourself in perfection that you're obviously never going to reach, but also in in a loop of just thinking that, oh no, you can do this later. Oh no, you're gonna do this that way, so you have to wait. Oh no, you're gonna do this and that. And just like, that's just a loop. Because, babes, if you just don't wake up, if you just don't start doing it, and it's like, one day, oh, I'm tired. Oh, I'm tired. And I really recognize that I was that person. It's like, I'm going off work, I'm like, I'm tired. Oh, I'm tired. And it's like, you always tired. It's like, okay, sometimes it's spiritual, sometimes it's just and sometimes you obviously have to rest. But most of the time, you can do things even if you're tired, babes. Because if you had to do a paper for work, a paper for school, anything, even if you're tired, you're gonna do it. Like, you're gonna do it. I remember, spending nights, or really, yeah, just like working on a paper or finishing. We all know that deadline, 11:59. We all know that deadline. Or we had a presentation for the next day, or things like that. If you're not done, you are going to finish it, because you know that you have a deadline. People are going to see, your work, and you have to deliver, right? But somehow, with our own plan, with our own thing that we want to achieve, it's always, well, okay, I'm gonna do it tomorrow. Oh, I'm gonna do it. And it's just like, that's a cycle of broken promises, a cycle of broken promises to you, a cycle of broken promises to God. Because me, I'm gonna say, I'm talking to myself like, oh, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. But sometimes I'm like, God, like, nah, tomorrow I'm doing this. No, 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 tomorrow, like, next month, no, I had to do this. I'm doing this. But it's like, I'm not doing it though. And I'm so ashamed of, like, come on, like, I'm so ashamed of myself. And today, that's what I'm saying, like, today, I didn't know that I was gonna make that um that video, that podcast, that specific topic, because my topic was, like I said previously, that I actually recorded, but I was going to redo it, whatever, was about greed, right? Was about greed, and what we see in society, and the things that we saw, like, recently, that correlated to that. But I guess this is what is going to come out, because I was gathered, okay? I was laying down. In my room, my bedroom, my little bed, very comfortable. And then I'm like, you know what? I was on YouTube. And then I'm like, okay, let me open my Bible real quick. And somehow I just open it, right? I open it, and I end up on Ecclesiastes 5. Baby, that was a read. Let me tell you. Let me tell you, when people want to read you, and they know how to read you, they gonna read you. But when God wants to read you, baby, you gonna feel it. You gonna feel it, baby. Let me tell you, I felt that conviction so bad. I got up. I put my equipment together and I'm here before you right now. Like that was crazy. That was crazy. It was Ecclesiastes 5. Hey. And it was like Ecclesiastes 5 2. And it says, "Don't make rash promises and don't be hasty in bringing matters before God. After all, God is in heaven and you are here on earth. So let your words be few." Let's calm down. Let's regroup just on that. Let your words be few. Stop talking too much. Stop talking all like talk, okay? Because if you talk that talk, then you better walk that walk. And I'm not gonna lie, I was part, of the people that were not really walking that walk like that. So you walking and you stopping. You walking and and that's how you can't do that. You can't do that. You can't grow doing that. You have to move forward. You have to be consistent. And it goes hand in hand with discipline. And these were the things that I was lacking, right? We're talking in the past tense. But like, yeah, I was lacking that, and that's true. Because if you rely on your feelings, like I said previously in my previous episode, your feelings, like the heart is deceitful, right? So how you feel is not cannot how you feel cannot control you, because you might feel bad about something, but that's the right thing to do. We all been in a situation where maybe you have to cut somebody off, or maybe you have to stop doing certain things, and or anything, and it's the right decision, but you still feel some kind of you feel sad, you feel some kind of some type of way. And that's the same thing with that. To achieve your goal, you're not gonna feel great every time. It's not gonna necessarily gonna feel good. You're gonna have to make sacrifices. You're gonna have to do things, but what you definitely gonna do, well, you definitely need to do, is to not break your promises. You actually have to keep your word. And as a person, as an individual, if you don't know how to keep your word, how can you be um someone of trust, like, who people can trust in? Like, people cannot trust you if you don't keep your words. If you're gonna say, "Oh, I'm gonna do this," like, people are waiting, and like that's not done, people gonna be like, "All right, you talking for nothing," like. And so most of the time we know that. That's why when we have something for school or something for work or anything, or with other people, we are going to try to make sure that we achieve it, that we deliver. But for us, sometimes, at least for me, that's what it was. It was, for me, it was like, well, that's me. That's me. So, it's fine. I didn't do it today. Well, tomorrow I'll do it. But it's like, you're not doing it. Like, you are not doing it. And I had to reflect and say to myself, hold on, like, do I value myself like I think I am? Like, I don't, who am I? Right? Like, who, like, why do I not respect myself like I respecting others? Right? Why do I put myself aside? Why do I not take myself seriously? I actually had to think, cuz like, why why are you not delivering things for yourself? Cuz you're doing this for your coworkers if you have to, for your bosses, managers, whatever. You did that when you was in school. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, how, like, I don't understand. Like, why are you not doing this for yourself? Like, you know what I'm saying? Do you love yourself like you say you do? Do you care for your plans like you say you do? Like, we had I had to have this conversation with myself. I had to have this little reflection because I was like, hold on, that's true. Because why? Why is that for me I can't deliver how I deliver for other people? And that's a real question you have to ask yourself, because that's not normal, right? You have to deliver for you, and like we read, don't talk for nothing. Like, if you actually want to do something, do it. Like, talk, you can say something about it, but like, do it. Do it. And I was like, hold on, yeah. Because it's easier said than done. It's like, obviously do it, right? But it's such a cycle, a vicious cycle. It sneaks in. If you don't pay attention, you just gonna think like, oh, whatever, it's cool, you know. But then days, months, years are passing by, and you're looking at yourself, and you're like, hold on, I said I was gonna do that in 2019, and I didn't do it. I said I did that. I was gonna do that 2 months ago, but I didn't do it. Like, this is crazy, and it's it's in regard of everything. So for example, for me, it's well, based on this podcast, it's this podcast, but it's also gym. It's also working out. Okay, I've been like, oh, like I literally bought a rope, a jumping rope. I bought, like, not too long ago. I bought, like, I love it. It's like two cubes, and there's like on each cube there's a cube like where there's like reps, different sets of reps, or time, 90 second, 60 rep, 20 rep, 30 rep, what exact, yeah, whatever. And then the second one is like, it's the actual exercise, so it's like hair squats, burpees, and all of that. So I bought that recently. Then I have like the ab roller, yeah, abs roller. And what I have, like, just a regular mat. If I have to do like some exercise like on the floor or whatever. And so I bought that. But like, I'm being very transparent with you guys. Like, I bought that, like, we're in October now. Like, we October 1st. I bought that, like, I don't know. I don't even remember. But like, I would say easily maybe in August, bro. Yeah, I would say maybe in August, and we're October. I used it here and there, but I have not been consistent with it, right? And it's like, that's crazy, because you cannot better yourself if you're not disciplined. And it goes back to discipline, because yes, it's broken promises to you and to God, but it's like, your lack of discipline is costing you your life. Your lack of discipline and consistency is costing you your dream life. It's costing you, or sometimes it's not necessarily costing you, but it's really delaying you, because you don't know what's in store for you tomorrow, right? We know that God has planned to prosper us, right? Not to harm us, and to give us hope in the future. You have no idea what's in store for you tomorrow, but you delaying what you have to do today. And you're like, oh, I have time, baby. You can die tomorrow. Like, actually, let's be for real. Because sometimes, especially us, like young people, we think we have all the time in the world. You're like, I'm young. Like, okay, I can do that tomorrow. I can do. But like, baby, you know how many young people died? And it's not even like, oh, car accident or anything. I mean, anything can happen. Obviously, God forbid. But some people just don't wake up. Like, you, it doesn't even have to be dramatic or anything. You can just not wake up tomorrow and that's done. And all the plan, all the thing that you should have done, you know what I'm saying, years ago or anything, because you never know like who's going to be impacted. Like I said, you don't know who's going to be impacted by your content. You don't know who's going to be impacted by what you do, because it doesn't have to be necessarily on social media. But if you're on social media, your content creation and anything, or just in real life, if you do volunteering, you know, if you help out, if you do whatever, you have no idea who is going to benefit from what you do today, right? You don't know who's going to benefit tomorrow of what you do today. And it's like, I'm starting to really realize that, yeah, that's not just a little podcast I'm doing on the side. Like, when I decide to do an episode, I'm just gonna do it. Now, I've been gathered. I must post regularly, because that's just not about me. It's about people that can be inspired. It's about people that can think, alike, or just, are going through the same situation. You don't know. But I'm realizing that, yes, this is deep. This is not just me. I just didn't, wake up with like, oh, I'm gonna do a podcast. Like, let me tell you something. Every idea that you have, I mean, that is a good idea though, because you can have ideas that are not of God. I'm not gonna, right? But you can have ideas that are straight from heaven. Like, they are straight from heaven. They're divine, okay? And so that's not just you, right? That's not just you. It's like deeper than that. And so many people are going to benefit from that. There's so many people that are going to grow, to evolve, to have a revelation or whatever, epiphany about their life, just because they watch you, or just because they met you, in real life, just because they interacted with you. You never know how you can impact someone's life. And I'm starting to understand that. And so the broken promises, that so many broken promises, so many. And I felt when I read that, I felt a little shame. I was like, yo, that's mad. Because let's be honest, if you were actually making promises to someone every time, all the time, you're like, I'm gonna do this today for you. I'm gonna do it. Don't worry about me. Don't worry about it. I'm going to do it. Okay, you can count on me. I'm gonna do it. And every time they come to you like, oh, and you're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do it after. You know what I'm saying? You get it, right? Like, they will look at you crazy. Like, they would say, yeah, nah, like, we're good. But somehow we do this to ourselves. Like, that's actually crazy. Like, I'm really realizing, like, that's mad. And it says in verse like 3, so it's still we're still on Ecclesiastes 5. It says, too much activity gives you restless dreams. Too many words make you a fool. Let's repeat that. Too much activity gives you restless dreams. Too many words make you a fool. Yeah. Yeah. That's what gathered me. I'm like, am I a fool? Am I a fool? Like, what? And I'm like, actually, because who says that? Is it? No, it's not. I don't remember the intellectual that were saying. Maybe I'm gonna remember, but the person that says, is it foolishness or like insanity, is doing the same thing over and over and think like something's gonna change. I'm paraphrasing because I don't remember exactly the phrase and who said that, but that's so true. You're a fool. Why are you doing the same thing over and over, or actually not doing what you're supposed to do over and over, and think things are gonna change? Like, hello, baby girl, if you don't get up, like, if you don't get your, okay, let me not, okay, if you don't get your butt up, and start doing something and start doing something, that's not happening. And I was like, wow, you're really a fool. Like, you're really a fool. Like, you're really a fool. Like, and it goes obviously for this specific topic. So, the promises that you make to yourself and God, but just in general, like, yeah, talk is cheap. Talk is cheap, baby. Let me show. I want to see them actions. Show me them action, baby. Show me them actions, baby. Cause you talking a lot, but I don't see none. And that's really that. like, like people or a guy is looking at you like, okay, like you cute, whatever, but like you talking too much. You talking too much. I have not even seen one bit of what you say you're gonna do. Where is it? Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, I. So I was like, yeah. I was like, yeah. Let me tell you, this is raw conversation. Like this is raw. We here to be for real. Like we're here to be truthful. This is crazy. And they say, yeah, many words make you a fool. And I'm like, yeah, that's true. That's true. Because you cannot talk and talk and talk and talk and talk without actions. Hello? You can't. You can't. You can't. You can't. You can't have faith on, on just growing your business, whatever, or being better at school, or being better at any type of skills that you have or what you're working on without actual work. Faith without work is dead. You cannot accomplish anything if you're not putting the effort to it. Like, hello? And it makes me think about this generation, like they said, us, that we're so focused on just, like they call it, I love that term, it's like microwave, microwave generation in a way, because we're so used to having like things so fast that we do not want to put effort in what we do, or because we see the next person, having success in whatever they do super fast, we're like, oh my goodness, okay, I'm just gonna do this little thing quickly and it's gonna work out. And when it doesn't, it's like, oh. And I can admit that as a person, I've been easily discouraged, right? But it's a bad thing, and you see there's like plenty of tracks that shows like it's showing that I had everything to make me not achieve my dreams and goals. Because you lack discipline, you lack consistency, and you easily discouraged, yeah, you're never going to achieve nothing, baby. You never achieve. What? You're never achieving anything with that. You have to, because you're not going to be motivated all the time. So you need discipline and consistency. Because without consistency, how can you do it? Exactly. Then you need to be encouraged. Be encouraged. You need to be encouraged because if you, and it goes back to what we said previously, feelings. If you're ruled by feelings, you're not going to be able to achieve things, or at least not as much as you should do, because you relying on things that are temporary, like I said in the previous episode, and it's gonna wave. One day you're gonna be to the moon. Okay, you're gonna be to the moon, like, yeah, I got this. Ooh, I love doing this. That's great. And then the next day you're gonna be super tired, whether it's just you, whether it's work, things happen and things like that. But to achieve that final goal, you're gonna need to do it. Nobody is saying, oh, you have to do, you have to produce, at 100% every day. Like, no, this is real life. Obviously, you can't do that. But just a little by little, That's why people are saying, oh, just like 5 minutes of doing that every day will make you grow. And it's like, yeah, actually. But if it's you're waiting on just like the 100%. Oh, I'm gonna do this 100% every day. Like, first of all, your expectations are not even realistic. Like, they're not even realistic in the first place. So let's actually start there. And so it had to, wow, man, I had to just look at my life. I had to examine like all of that and come to the conclusion of, yeah, yeah, you had bad habits. You had bad habits. You had just, your expectations are not unrealistic, but it's how you're going to achieve that, right? With little effort, that is very unrealistic. That's why a lot of people that we see on TV or anything, just successful in life, right? Will say, because a lot of people are talking about, overnight success. But overnight success, most of the time, it's never overnight success. Like, people worked, okay? They worked their butt off for years, for months, like being consistent. Because most of the time, when you start something, you don't know, because you have to master also what you do, right? Mastering your craft and just doing and be better at it. It's because you're training yourself that you're becoming better at something. And because you're becoming better at something, then things are happening, opportunities are coming, and you're better. So because you're better, you have more chance to actually succeed, and people are seeing you in everything. And so it's like, yeah, if you don't want to go through that process, but you want a reward, there's a disconnect. How can you get the reward? It's like when we play games. It's always, there's different levels. You can never go to the end, to finish the race or finish the game without going through specific levels. And it's like, yeah, in life that's the same thing. Don't you think you're gonna be a king or queen? You know what I'm saying? And you just started. Like, that's in real life. If you actually think about, like, in real life, for anything, it's not gonna work out like that, and you know it. It's like, you know it. You don't expect, like, if you enter a company and you just started, you just finished school like a couple years ago, you know that you're not gonna be a senior manager. You're not gonna be a director, a CEO. You know that because you know that you don't have enough experience. You know that you have to master certain skills and just like experience, like lived experience, to go to that level if you want to. But somehow, with things that we we create, and our desires, our plans, our goals, that's where we can be a little bit unrealistic, thinking that, okay, and I'm gonna take an example of, obviously, as content creation in general. Oh, I posted so constant, because let me do the example of someone who's actually consistent, right? Because even if inconsistency, it just takes time. People have been, I saw an interview not too long ago. I think it was like yesterday, or a day before that. But it was an actor that was saying that he basically um he landed a role on Power, not a Ghost, like the sequel, one of the sequel. So Ghost, Power Book 2, and it says, I mean, he said that he had 6 years, like he spent like 6 years like mastering his craft, and obviously receiving no's after no's after no's after no's, until he, obviously, he had other project, right, here and there, but this particular project really put him on a map, right? Can you imagine 6 years? And you think that you in like couple months or couple weeks, let's be real, you're gonna just achieve that. It's crazy. Like, you're delusional. You're delusional, okay? Sometimes it's nice to be delusional in some ways, but it has to be reframed, okay? You can be delusional in the sense of like, I'm gonna achieve everything that I, put my mind into and things like that. Oh, I can be the president of the United States, or I can be the president of France, or I can be that type of delusional. It's like, all right, because you're gonna work for it, right? Cool. And hey, everything is possible to those who believe. Okay, because a lot of things in life wouldn't even happen if like if we first were not like, it's gonna happen. Like, you have to also declare that. You have to believe in that for it to even happen in the first place, for it to even manifest in the first place, because you're going to work towards it, and we go back again to the work. You have to work towards that. Faith without work is dead. You have to work towards your goals. And this is really a podcast. It's really an episode where I'm talking to myself, bro, because I really need that. Like, I really need that, and I really needed that. Okay? And I'm gonna need that in the future too. Because, like, what? This is mad. This is mad. Like, don't be a fool, okay? I guess I was a fool, but I'm not anymore. Okay? I guess I was a fool, but I'm not anymore. Like, I can't be. I can't be. I can't stay a fool. Right? Because at least if you were something, but you decide to change, it's about change, right? Life is about change. Okay? It's about change. You were something, you were doing something, you were, acting a certain way, moving a certain way, and you decided to change, then so be it, right? That's great. But we're gonna change. Because, baby, I'm not a fool. Okay? I don't want to be a fool. I do not want to be known as someone who's just, like, who talk a lot. Like, you know what I'm saying? Who talk a lot and don't really achieve or anything, Because you're gonna grow frustrated. Like, you broke promises to you and to God. Like, you're gonna grow frustrated because you're like, ugh. You you're gonna be in this like daydreaming thing for the rest of your life. Oh, I could have done this. Baby, do it. Okay? You could just do it. Okay? Just do it. And that's funny because I'm saying this now, but I've seen so many videos. Let me tell you, I've seen so many videos like, oh wow, just do it. Be consistent. Have discipline. Babes, I believe that if you don't have that, that revelation, that click, that conviction for you, you can see a lot of contents. People can say that to you, and you're gonna be like, yeah, because you understand it. So, but sometimes understanding is not enough. Like, you truly need a revelation for yourself, like your heart, like your mind and everything, for you to wake up and be like, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. And well, I guess this is now. I guess this is now. Because what? Hey, no, that was, guys, that was mad. That was mad. And the verse 4, they said, so still, we're still in Ecclesiastes 5. And the verse 4 says, when you make a promise to God, don't delay in following through, for God takes no pleasure in fools. Right? You're a fool again. Like, he's reading you. Like, what? He's reading you again. Like, you're a fool. Like, you're a fool. Like, babes, I love you, but this ain't it. This ain't it. This ain't it. Keep all the promises you make to him. Right? Keep all the promises you make to yourself. Keep all of them. Keep all of them. Keep all of them. Baby, I had a record. I had a record of broken promises. And I guess enough is enough. I guess I'm fed up. I guess I can't look at myself like that again. I can't be that person anymore. I just can't, man. I can't. Like, I can't. I have to look at myself and be proud. I have to look at myself like, nah, you did that. Like, you're consistent. You're really doing it, you know? Because that's not just about me, it's about other people. It's about greater. Like, you know what I'm saying? There's a greater purpose. I believe there's a greater purpose in everything that we do. So, you can't just think that, oh, it's just like, whatever. Like, you don't know. I was so surprised. Like, I had one of my friend like listening to I think the episode 2, and I was like, oh, I'm just putting things out, but I don't really think of people necessarily listening to me, like, right? Even if I put it on Instagram here and there, but it's just different for people to actually hear you, and they're like, oh wow, this no, I'm like, people are really listening to me, even if it's one person, even if it's one or two, or like, it's kind of special. But it also means that, yeah, you never know who's gonna listen to you. You never know who's gonna see you, who's gonna watch you. You never know who's gonna be impacted, like I said. um so you have to do, it's not for you, because I was doing it for me, and that's why I was not really taking it really seriously. Let's be honest, right? I was being negligent with the platform that was assigned to me. Let's say that. And not anymore. Not anymore. I'm going to be diligent, because I know that it's not just about me. It's about other people. It's about who I can help. And I also like it. And it's like, why are you not putting effort in something that you actually like? It's not even like I'm dreaded, like, I'm not dreading to do that. Like, nah. I'm actually happy to do it. I'm joyful doing it. I like it. And I guess, yeah, I guess that's why also the idea came to me, right? That was not just random, because I got the idea. God, man, I got the idea in like 2022, babes. We're in 2024, almost 2025. And I started this year. So it's to say that there's always a time, there's always a time, obviously, for your idea to flourish and everything, but baby, it's about time. Baby, that's overdue right now. Okay? We overdue right now. We gotta come out. We gotta come out strong. And we will. We're gonna do it. But yeah, I really wanted to talk about the broken promises, and that are really linked with, like, we talked about, really, procrastination, discipline, you know, and being led by feelings and everything, and to just deconstruct, like, all of that, because this is, we can't, at least I can't continue like that. Right? I can't. Then it says in verse 5, it is better to say nothing than to make a promise and not keep it. Ooh, ooh, T. Facts. Facts. We talked about it earlier, but, like, this is true. It is better to not make a promise than to not keep. Babes, it is better to say nothing than to make a promise and not keep it. It is better to shut your mouth than to say something, you know what I'm saying, and you're not gonna come through with it, and you're not gonna do it. Hey, this is life, man. This is hard. This is like conviction, right? It is better you shut up. You talking too much. It's better you shut up. okay, and not say anything than to make promises that you can't keep. Ooh, and to make promises that you can't keep. That's crazy. That's actually crazy. He's like, yeah, you cute, whatever, but like, you can, you can also be cute, mute. Okay, be cute and mute. That way, you don't have to say things that you can you can come through. You can come through. We want you to deliver, but you're not doing it. Like, what's going on? What's happening? Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely gathered. Definitely, yeah. I was. He got me. He got me, and I hope he's getting you too, because he really, okay, he really did that. So I'm gonna need you to take heed. I'm actually laughing and I'm joking, but I'm actually very serious. I took heed of that, and that's why I'm here before you. So I want you to take heed of that. And if you were in the same situation as I was, well, let's do better together, right? Let's do better together. Like, this podcast is really aimed for us to talk about things, to reflect on things, on life, on what we do, on what we don't do, or what we want to do and what we can do, everything. And for us to just be in a place of just help, like, right? We help each other. We yeah, we help each other. We motivate each other. We do that, and that's also one of the purpose of that podcast. And I wanted to share that today because that was real. That was real. I was like, woo, I cannot keep that to myself. Like, what? No, no, no. People gotta hear this. People gotta hear this, you know? And the beautiful thing about it is that even if you don't even believe in God, like, this is something that applies to everybody, you know? Like, you don't even have to believe in God to get that message. Like, this is real. Like, if you don't know how to keep promises, just shut up. If you can't put in work, you're not gonna get your reward. That's just straight up facts. That's just straight up facts. But hey, I'm just saying that's the wisdom of God though. But hey, you know what I'm saying? To which is own. To which is own. But yeah, let's read the verse 6. It's don't let your mouth make you sin, and don't defend yourself by telling the temple messenger that the promise you made was a mistake. You see, that's a read right there. Cuz how many times are we doing talking to ourselves or other people are justifying. We are justifying the fact that we didn't deliver. Oh no, but I was tired. Oh no, but I'm working on something so I couldn't do that. Oh no, but I'm just yeah, right. Yeah, right. Like, stop justifying yourself. And I was doing that. I was justifying myself to myself. Oh no, I was very tired. I was very tired. Oh no, I couldn't do this because yeah, right. But you out here scrolling until midnight. Hello? Like, come on. You're scrolling, you like, oh no, it's 9:30, it's a little too late. Oh no, it's 10:30, it's a little too late, but you still gonna be on that phone scrolling until midnight. And then you're gonna be like, let me watch something else. And then you end up what? You end up sleeping at like 1 a.m. 1 a.m. And what did you do? Nothing. And all that time you could have done, you know what I'm saying? All that time hey, could have been a use of something else. And it's like, yeah. Yeah, you have no excuse. You have no excuse. Like, you have no excuse whatsoever. Mm, let me tell you guys, like, I gotta say it again. I was gathered. Like, what? My goodness. That was a read. You go, like, hey, read me to filth. What? And then it says, my goodness. And it said that would make God angry and he might wipe out everything you have achieved. Seep them tea. Seep that tea. Seep that tea. What? You telling me all I have achieved can be wiped out like that? Because I don't know how to keep my mouth shut? Like, what? That's isn't that crazy? So you don't know how to keep your mouth shut. So God is like, you know what? Since I see you a little confused, you talking a little too much, let me help you real quick. I'm gonna wipe it out. I'm gonna wipe it out for you. That way you can continue on a clean slate. That's mad. That's mad. No, that's not happening. That's not happening for me. I don't know about you, but that's not happening for me. Then it says, verse 7, talk is cheap. Hello? Talk is cheap. What's up? What are you doing? Like, what's really up with you? Talk is cheap. Like daydreams and other useless activities. Talk is cheap like daydreams and other useless activities. Fear God instead. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Because they say the fear of God is the beginning of wisdom. Beginning of all wisdom. And I'm like, you know what? You're right. You're right. Because, no. Talk is really cheap, man. Talk is really cheap. Because that's true. You can get paid if you can talk. Because right now I'm talking. But I woke my butt off. I'm trying to not to, not curse or whatever. I'm a changed person. But yeah, no, I really took my phone. Okay. I'm prophesying that, okay? The camera is coming. But outside of that, I just took my phone, I took my lighting, I took, my mic and everything. And even if I'm talking, I'm doing something. I had to record myself, right? So it's like, yeah, without action, like if you're just talking to talk, this is like so useless. That's useless. That's useless. It's so useless. You have to actually walk the walk. If you talk the talk, then walk the walk with it. Because if you only talk the talk, then that's cheap. This is mad. This is mad, but this is what I wanted to. This is all I had to say. This is all I had to say. This is all I wanted to talk about today. Because the way that shook me, I really got that revelation today. Because, like I said previously, I knew about it. Obviously, you know about it. You see that on your feed, on your feed and everything, like motivation, ha ha ha, things like that. It's like you get it because that's true. It's good, but maybe until you get that revelation for yourself, sometimes, hey. But hey, today we got it. We got it today. But yeah, I hope you guys that it really helped you in some capacity. I don't know if you're good with that. Send it to your friend, your family, or whatever. Anybody that is maybe struggling like I was. But yeah, we got to do better, and we're going to do better. We're going to do better, okay? But yeah, we talked about it, okay? We did. And so now, okay, we're going to talk about something else on the next episode. But yeah, that was real. That was raw. So hope you enjoyed the episode. At least I really enjoyed talking to you and just like sharing that, because that I had to. So God bless you. See you next episode. Tune in. I promise. Right? I promise. That's a promise I'm making to not only to myself, it's to God, to you guys. Like, I promise. Now we're done. We're done with the talk. We're done with the talk. We're gonna act. We're done with the talk. We're gonna act. Talk is cheap. Okay? So my actions are not gonna speak louder. God bless you. Bye.